From a secret way to stash your credits, to a genius trick to get more kills, these are 25 common Brawl Stars mistakes. Rushing with Shelly is the most common mistake players make, and you should avoid it completely. This is because, most of the time, you'll just get demolished by other ranged brawlers. Instead, what you should do is prioritize approaching tanky short-range brawlers, since she's an anti-tank brawler. Also, be sure to never camp in bushes, or your IP address might end up on someone's list. Bruce should eat enemy bullets. Pause. Let me explain. Most Nita players throw their super anywhere as soon as they get it, and this usually ends up with Bruce dying instantaneously, without contributing to your match. However, a much better way to use him is to literally make him your meat shield when getting shot at by non-piercing projectiles. In other cases, where you're facing AoE or piercing attacks, try throwing Bruce right beside your enemy, and now he'll be a distraction, letting you get away. Auto-aim has to be one of the most common mistakes new players make. I know I've mentioned this before, but unless you're being chased, auto-aiming with long-range brawlers like Colt will make you miss nearly every shot. Also, make sure to strafe when shooting moving targets, and you're on a good path to being a pro. Just like me. Never mind. If you're playing Bull, then stop dying in 3 seconds. In other words, when you choose a Bull to play a match, don't rush to the center with your super thinking you have enough health, because trust me, you don't. The most annoying thing you can do in Brawl Stars is probably to break defense walls. This will certainly make players hate you, and I know you're going to say, but Balootic, it was an accident. Well, you were too. Okay, jokes aside, when you're playing with Brock and Brawl Ball, for example, try to avoid using your super on your team side, because chances are you're just going to lose. I bet you think tanks should always be the gem carriers and gem grab. Well, that's actually not true. A lot of players assume that more health means a better chance to win, but what really matters is picking a long-range, versatile brawler. These brawlers can escape tricky situations and hold their ground when things get messy. So next time you're in gem grab, maybe leave the gems to someone who can run. Did you know you can accidentally KO your own teammate in Brawl Ball? If you use your super to pass the ball and it hits a teammate with low HP, it can actually cause damage and even finish them off. If you've maxed your account, don't fall into the trap of buying too many true gold and silver skins. Sure, they're a flex, but they're literally just expensive recolors of default skins. And the worst part? Both of these skins will cost you roughly 35,000 coins, and as soon as you drop all of that gold, a new Brawl Talk drops, and suddenly there's a shiny new brawler you can't afford to upgrade. Luckily, I'm already in gold debt, so I can't even make this mistake. But speaking of skins, spending your gems on them is a horrible idea. Gems are super valuable for progressing your account, and washing them on skins can really hurt your progress. Instead, focus on using them for hypercharges, because it's a much smarter investment which will make you win more matches. I'd usually say to save them for the Brawl Pass, but Supercell removed that option. Thanks, Supercell! Upgrading brawlers in Brawl Stars is one of the most satisfying things to do, but it can be a double-edged sword. If you upgrade brawlers that are weak or don't fit your playstyle, it's only going to slow down your progress. Instead, focus on saving your resources to upgrade brawlers that are strong and suit how you play. If you want to go pro in Brawl Stars, staying on top of the current metas is a must. The game's always changing with updates every month, introducing buffs and nerfs to different brawlers. Each brawler has a chance to become weaker or stronger, and ignoring the meta will pretty much backstab you. So do yourself a favor and stay updated. Who knows, maybe one day we'll finally get a real Edgar nerf, or better yet, he'll be removed altogether. Buying star powers and gadgets can totally change how strong your brawler is, but picking the wrong ones can make them so much worse. So before you spend all your hard-earned gold, check what the community says or watch a video to see them in action. You don't want to be that Griff running coin shower, which just adds one extra wave of coins. Seriously, who even uses that? But while we're talking about upgrades, here's a tip. Don't waste your coins on the vision gear for close range brawlers. Why? Well, it only reveals enemies in bushes for 2 seconds after you hit them. And if you're out of range, it's pretty much useless. Plus, with better options like this shield or health regen gears, which actually help you survive longer, vision gear feels like a wasted slot. Honestly, if you're that desperate to mess with bush campers, just pick Bo, because he already sees 150% more in bushes with his circling eagle star power. We all know rough players struggle to share their buff supers. However, if you're the one playing rough with hypercharge and feeling a little selfish, avoid this. Most players use hypercharge, throw their super, and instantly grab the buff. But that's a big mistake. Instead, wait for your hypercharge to run out before picking up the buff. Why? Because it'll instantly refill your hypercharge bar, letting you infinitely cycle it, at least until your teammate swoops in and steals it. Everyone knows Amber has an ammo bar that drains as she attacks, but here's the trick. Don't bother manually aiming with her, because every time she fires a single flame projectile, her auto aim resets, meaning it's actually the most accurate auto aim in the entire game. So next time you're playing Amber, just hold that button and watch your enemies burn. This almost feels cruel. Did you know you can use Mastery credits as a sneaky way to buy newly released brawlers? Masterly rewards give you credits to unlock brawlers, but don't claim them right away. If you're not interested in the current choices, save those credits as a backup. When a new brawler drops, Supercell gives you about 14 days to unlock them earlier, no matter where you are on the star road. So after the brawler is released, just grab those saved credits and unlock them instantly. This is especially useful if you've already maxed out the star road and are stuck grinding fame, because to be honest, fame sucks. If you're bad with certain brawlers, here's a tip. Don't think about teaming. Teaming in solo showdown is one of the worst things you can do, and it ruins the experience for everyone. Plus, it's only a matter of time before other players start hating you and backstabbing you anyways. There's a reason duo showdown exists, so maybe try that instead and stop ruining everyone's day. If you want to maximize your progress in Brawl Stars, then make sure to never skip your daily quests. These are separate from weekly quests and give you an extra 400 XP for tasks that are super easy to complete. To put it into perspective, with a 28-day season, that's an extra 11,200 XP just waiting for you. This is one of the most common mistakes players make: missing your daily freebies. Not only are these a great way to rack up extra resources for your account, but you might also hit the jackpot and score a huge reward on any random day. So don't forget to check it regularly. And it's -5 gems. Woohoo! Have you ever been caught up by another player while using Leon's invisibility and thought they were cheating? Well, they're not. They just had their volume cranked up and could hear your footsteps even though you were invisible. So if you're playing with your sound off, it's basically like giving those players superpowers. Turn your volume up. Your team needs to know where to go. One of the biggest mistakes teams make is funneling. In other words, all grouping up in the same spot on the map. This makes your entire team as an easy target, especially for brawlers with AoE attacks. So next time you play, make sure everyone picks a lane, left, right, or middle, and stick to it. Did you know that even if your team funnels, they can still end up in bad matchups? If you're getting destroyed by a brawler that completely counters you, don't just stand there and take it. Talk to your teammate who can handle that enemy and swap lanes. And don't stop there. Keep switching positions throughout the match, because trust me, the other team is doing the exact same thing. You have to always stay 2 steps ahead. I bet you've been spawn camped before. Yeah, it's the worst. But instead of rushing in solo to fight the enemy team, here's a smarter move. Wait for your team to regroup before attacking, because if you trade kills with one of them, you'll respawn right there, but they have to cross the entire map to get back to you. So stick together and use the power of friendship. Not paying attention to this can make your brawler completely useless. In ranked matches, a random modifier gets applied to the game, and if you ignore it, you're in big trouble. For example, if the sick beats modifier is active and you pick a brawler that relies on stunning, you've basically sabotaged your whole team. On the flip side, modifiers like quick fire can make certain brawlers like Leon way more effective. So next time, check that modifier before you lock in your pick. Don't waste your bling on brawler pins or sprays. They're way too expensive for almost no payoff. Instead, you can snag a much cooler skin with animations or even profile icons for the same amount. And there you have it, 25 common Brawl Stars mistakes. Make sure to subscribe and check out the video on the screen.